Camille is ready to spin the block with her relationship with Ian. Quinn, girl, are you giving fetish for queerness? And Ty, baby, you love your girls. It don't matter if you can't maintain any other relationships, I suppose. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis, Erica Vane, coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Harlem video. I'm so excited to say that we are back, baby, for season 2. And in this video, we're going to talk about season 2, episode number 1. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post new Harlem videos. Amazon Prime will be releasing 2 new Harlem episodes every Friday for the next 4 weeks. If you want to catch up, or you might have missed it, or you need a direct link to go and stream right now, check the description box down below as I have the direct link, and I got you, because this is a show that y'all cannot sleep on and or miss. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what the girls in Uptown, what they got going on this season, or at least in episode 1. Child, I want to go ahead and start off with Camille, but just know what came to mind for me with these girls is Camille is scrambling, Ty is shuffling, Quinn is spiraling, and Angie is suppressing. And of course, I'm going to explain. But let's start with the ringleader, Camille, who is scrambling to try to fix her wrongs and rights, because kissing Ian was kind of right. We could debate later. That didn't go quite right from the night before, and it really kind of feels like she's really scrambling to do this because she doesn't like how she's going to be perceived. I thought that using Mira's character in this episode to confront Camille on where she is and her actualization of self and lack of self-awareness was utterly brilliant, because while Mira isn't technically the villain, she is definitely an antagonist for the Camille character. And the fact that she read her for filth not once but twice, and the second time made sure to point out, like, girl, you need to go ahead and own all of your decisions. Like, you might not like the consequences or how the consequences make you look, but you made these choices. You are not passive in all of this. You are an active participant making certain decisions that have certain effects, and whether you like it or not and how things make you look, you did it because you wanted to do it. So why don't you go ahead and own that? And I thought that was a really dope statement, one, to cut Camille down in that moment, but then also to put her in a position to really start to think a little bit differently about herself, because the first part of the episode we really see her validating her victim mentality, or not necessarily, I won't say that she has a full-on victim mentality, but she's just like, but I'm a good person, and I didn't mean for all of this to happen, and I know that me and Ian are going to be together, but I don't want it to happen like this. And I'm also thinking we don't hear from Ian when it comes to Camille at all in the episode after the night that they kissed, which is now sending a red flag for me. And this is the second time I watched the episode. I watched the preview or the sneak peek at Sundance, and then watched it again just now to do this breakdown. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't recall Ian actually reaching out to Camille at any point. And meanwhile, she's running all up and down and around Harlem trying to fix her wrongs, getting read by Aunt Tammy and Mira, and all of this stuff is actually going on, and he has not said boo. Girl, you about to break up with Jameson, and Ian has not even said boo. He has not even confirmed for you where he is and where he ain't. Girl, you might want to go ahead and pump your brakes. What the girls say, let him go off to Chicago and then let it fizzle out or whatever. Don't be jumping to conclusions and just ending your relationship when you have no idea what's going on. It might be selfish, but I kind of feel it. And while I'm talking about things that I'm validating that's wrong, but hell, if it's wrong, then I don't want to be right. Let's go ahead and talk about the kiss, because I'm all for it. I really am. No, I am not oh, it's okay to be a home wrecker, but also, what's the alternative? Him going ahead and being foolish and marrying this girl and settling for Mira when he could have Camille, and he know that he wants Camille. Yes, it took them quite a while to get there, but by golly, Miss Molly, they needed to get there because they both wanted to be together. And then y'all, also, I'm putting the ashes on it because, again, I didn't see Ian reach out to this girl at all. He didn't check on her or nothing. So all the flavor that you was giving last season, Ian, said that you actually want this girl, said that you resented her a little bit for dumping you, said that you didn't like how things went down, but you was a man and you gonna do what y'all like to do. But then in this episode, you being missing in action is like a big red flag for me. But the kiss itself, whether it was inappropriate because he's engaged, whether it's uncomfortable because, you know, the fiance is also watching it go down, something needed to happen to stop the wedding and then to put Camille and Ian in a place where they could have a real conversation about what they were and where and who they want to be moving forward, not only individually but together. And y'all can fight me on it because I'm going to stand 10 toes down on that. That would be a hill that I'll die on. I'm glad that Camille and Ian kissed. Now, aside from her Ian drama, Camille is also battling with cleaning up the mess of her career drama, because while she also runs over to confess all her love for Ian last night, she also quit her job because she's tired of being underappreciated, underutilized, and seemingly disregarded and or dismissed, and she ain't playing that. Now, at the top of the episode, she goes and she's like literally begging for her job back, and Dr. Pruitt's like, girl, let me think about it, because you was on my doorstep cutting the hell up, and I don't even play that, right? But then after Mira reads her for all of the filth that she can find on these New York streets, Camille's like, you know what? You're right. I need to own it. So she goes back and re-quits and like, you know, I'm going to finish out this term and I'm going to do bop, 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 bop. And then I'm out because y'all don't love me anyway. And then Dr. Pruitt's like, you know what? That don't sound too bad. So it's going to be very interesting watching Camille this season as she is entering in a place where she's transitioning out of this job. Something that I think that she has clung to very heavily for defining her. You know, a lot of us have come up and made our careers or our specific positions within the workforce a part of our personalities. And Camille definitely gives that. Like, she's always pulling the anthropology-ish type of reference for something, like she did in this episode with Ty trying to figure out if she should buy a dog. And she's like, girl, let's cut to the nitty gritty. Yes or no? Do I buy the damn dog or not? It's going to be interesting to see Camille's journey as she's transitioned out of this job and looking for a new one, walking away from what seemingly a solid, healthy relationship with Jameson and pursuing past love and what was healthy before with Ian. Again, we ain't heard from Ian, so we don't even know if Ian feels the same or like is gonna throw a real big monkey wrench in the plans of like what their reconciliation looks like. I can just see the chaos and the messiness. It's cute chaos, but it's still chaos that is Camille in her life getting even more chaotic. But you know what? She gonna be still looking fabulous while they do it. Like, shout out to all the creatives behind the show, because the girls sashaying in the middle of the damn day to go and have lunch and then off to Mani Petty's and looking how they were looking. I was like, yes, please give me all of the fashion. My life might be a mess, but baby, this dress, okay? Check out my wing eyeliner and get into this hair. Harlem is like what every little black girl has been waiting for since Girlfriends ended. And I'm just so grateful for Tracy Oliver and everybody involved. But go ahead, move on, Erica. Ty. Let's talk about our boo thing, Ty. Because she is shuffling at the thought of her not having real love in her life, or basically having these impenetrable walls because Brandon, you know, the ex-husband that we ain't know about, that pops up and basically reads her for filth last season and then points out that, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take you for all your money because you said I was gonna take you for all your money, but while I'm at it, I'm gonna read you for filth on my way out and let you know that you don't even have no damn love in your life. You don't have nobody knows who to call for you. Look at you basically living as a shell of a human, and it's sitting real heavy on her heart. But it's sitting more heavy on her heart because the girls, after she reveals that this is what Brandon said, the girls just are like, this is really tasty, because they was at lunch. And it hurts Ty. It hurts Ty's feelings because she's like, yo, you didn't even disagree. Y'all didn't even disagree. And I think that there was some truth to what Brandon was saying about her struggles with intimacy and love. And when we go back to season 1 and we got to see the backstory of Ty and her losing out on this really big love that they were about to take the next step into, and then in also last season, her actually really liking the little white girl that did the story on her, but then also having conflict at her core in reference to what she felt like that love interest represented, not only for herself, but like outwardly to the Black community. Like, she's struggling with a lot. And I think that her connection and her support and her loyalty within this girls group does speak to her being able to connect with people, does speak to her being able to develop a certain level of intimacy, even if she hasn't been able to maintain a stable relationship. Last season, like, the biggest part of her issue of being able to maintain a stable relationship was just she wasn't finding people who were on her level. And that's a very real struggle, whether you are queer or straight, baby, because guess what, the pickets is kind of slim and the dating pool really do have piss and shit in it. So I don't think that we can actually put that on Ty. However, in this episode, we see that that's the biggest thing that she's grappling with. Yeah, on the back end, it's like, how much is Brandon going to try to take me for with my money? But then on the front of mind, forward facing, it's like, is my life really empty? Is this the life I want to live? Like, are people correct in this criticism of me because I don't like the way that sounds? And shout out to the themes in the episode, because now there's two characters who are making decisions within their lives and doing the things that they want to do, but they don't like how the consequences of those decisions actually look on them, and then they're trying to change. Come on, writing. In this episode, Ty considers even getting a dog to start the process of presenting a little bit more forward-facing and intimacy and love, and hopefully showing that she's capable of fostering beautiful love and intimacy in her life, but then ultimately decides not to do it, get a cactus, and then winds up putting the damn cactus in the garbage disposal. Ty, just keep loving on your girlfriends and it's gonna all work itself out, babes. Moving on to Quinn, who I feel like is spiraling about this little lady date in this episode, but this is the same energy that she had in her heterosexual dating as well. So what exactly did we expect? Child, she is so excited about asking Isabela out, and Isabela agreeing and what they're gonna do. She recruits Ty to help her, and Ty brings her over to a sex shop to buy $4,000 worth of sex toys. You don't need none of that, at least for your first time. But you know what? I'm gonna mind my business, because I'm gonna mind my cis hetero business, because if Ty said this is what you do, then I guess it's what you do. But it looks foolish. A mess. And then we wind up seeing that play out, because once her and Isabela make it to the bed and she's pulling out all these contraptions, thingamabobs and doodly wops, she's just like, girl, all I need is you. That's all I needed. You's enough. And it's the validation for me and for Quinn, because y'all know Quinn stopped that shit up like a biscuit. I think Quinn had probably like the lightest storyline in this episode, just because hers is circled or centered around her date with Isabela and her entering into her new era of queerness and exploring that. I don't think that this is the case, but a little bit of a red flag that came up for me in watching this episode again was like, is Quinn fetishizing queerness? Like, I get that she's into Isabel and she like likes her, but I really can't tell if she's like sexually attracted to her and like really queer, or just like obsessed and like, this girl is great, I want her to be my friend, I want her to be in my life type of thing. Because there's definitely women who I look at and I'm just like, oh my god, like, you are absolutely amazing, you're literally like a goddess, and I just want to brush up next to you and smell your amazing perfume and just be in the aura of all your greatness. But that doesn't mean I want to bump cats with this girl. And for the sex scenes to go down how it did, and Quinn to not really be able to take it seriously, it gave that you're not really sexually attracted to her. Maybe you really just need to be BFFs with Isabella, and maybe y'all just need to kiss every now and again. But girl, I'm not necessarily fully convinced that Quinn is walking into her full queerness. And then also, what happened to old stripper boy? What happened to Arnaz? Because I thought that was something very real as well. I guess we're going to see in this season. Now, last but certainly not least, our good sis, Angie, child. I said that I felt like she's suppressing, because I feel like she's suppressing anxiety and feelings of loss. And she's doing so with humor and, we guessed it, more sex. Child, what are you doing out here acting like you got a twin so that you can smash to even find a homeboy of the extra fine masseuse dude from the nail salon, because the little random aluminum hat man on the street told you your luck would change once you smash the finest man in New York? Angie girl, not you coming out the gates giving us all types of this is what it's finna be this season, and y'all better hold on tight because it's gonna be a wild ass ride. Y'all, we already know that they lost out on being able to put up the off Broadway play Get Out because Angie wrote Jordan Peele, and they came back like, yeah, shut this down, which ultimately just dejects her as well as some of her castmates, the one that she was bumping uglies with to stay warm and had developed a friendship with. Is like, yeah, girl, now I ain't gonna be able to pay my rent, so no, I can't get it up for you, and I'm done bumping uglies with you, okay? But we can still be friends though. And then she gets the little prophecy from the man on the street and decides the man that she just ran into at the nail salon is the finest man in New York, so she gonna go ahead and smash him. I feel like all of this is a distraction, and we're probably gonna watch Angie come to like hitting a very, very low moment, probably like mid-season this season. She's always been, or thus far, because we've only gotten one season of the show up until this new season release, but to me, she's always been, at least after she lost her record deal, a girl that's like searching for something. And she does have standards because, you know, she did have a certain level of taste, and she had found a certain level of success, but she's just kind of been floating. And I think for her to get so close to this thing again with Get Out and all that she had went through with that production, and then we saw that last season behind the scenes, and then for it to end, I could only imagine that it's really, really crushing her. And the fact that she spends this episode really leaning heavily into her humor, really leaning heavily into her little anecdotes, and like she really is a distraction. Like there's a moment at lunch, I believe, where Ty's like, girl, can you act like you paying attention to us? And it's like she hear what y'all are saying, but she also does not want to live in the sorrow, the worry, and all of what could be consuming most of y'all's life at this point, including hers. And I just think it's interesting how they show that, because all of it is given like everything that Angie's doing is a distraction tactic. And when she gets a moment and actually decides to sit in her feelings and allow herself to feel how she feels, I think that she's going to fall very, very hard, and it's going to be interesting to watch. I think that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about the first episode in the comment section down below. As I mentioned at the top of this video, subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out when I post a new Harlem video. I will be giving you episode by episode breakdowns, and then when interesting storylines pop up or some character does some wild stuff, I will definitely give you a separate video to explore that a little bit more. Drop down in the comment section, let me know your thoughts, theories, and predictions so that we can keep the conversation going, and I will see you in episode 2.